Before we begin with the video, I just wanted to mention a few things. I'm neither a pilot nor a CPL holder. I'm just an aspiring pilot like you all who are watching this video right now. All the reference materials, links, and videos of the information I give you in this video will be mentioned in the description. Also, I'll be talking about the conventional method of acquiring commercial pilot's license in India specifically. The purpose of this video is to help other aspiring pilots now or in the future to get a clear-cut idea of what steps they have to take to get a CPL. Now that all of that is out of the way, we can begin with the video. Commercial pilot's license or CPL is meant for pilots who want to fly commercially. Now this can be an airline pilot, a corporate pilot, or an instructor. There are three major paths to acquiring a CPL in India. Now the first part is your medical, your class 1 and class 2 medical. The second part will be your exams, the 5 DGCA exams as well as the RT exam. And the third part will be the practical part, that is the flying, the 200 hours of flying. Now the breakdown of the steps will be on your screen right now. Talking about the first step, you need to have physics and maths in your plus 2. Now if you're a commerce or an arts student, you can do these two subjects from National Institute of Open Schoolings or NIOS on-demand examinations and can still start your pilot training. There's no percentage requirements for CPL according to DGCA, but most of the reputed flying schools in India require you to have at least 50 to 60% in your plus 2. Now once you're through the first step, now comes your medicals, that is the class 2 medicals. This is an entire process of its own, and the first thing you have to do is create an EGCA login ID. EGCA or e-governments, it's a project under EGCA, they made everything online. Now there is a manual for how you can create an EGCA login ID, and I will be mentioning it in the description so you can have a look at it. Once you have created the EGCA ID, you have to log in through the website and you have to fill an application form requesting for the medical. An application ID will be generated once you fill the form, and this application ID will be valid 30 days of submitting the application. You will require the application ID when you visit your doctor for the medical. Now you have to select your preferred doctor from the DGCA website or the list that I've given in the description. Note that the list gets updated every once in a while, so if you're watching this video in the future, do check the website for the latest one. You book an appointment through email or call and your doctor will take you through the next few steps. Now for what kind of tests they do in Class 2 Medical, they will be on your screen right now. And the validity for Class 2 Medical is 2 years. You get a CA35 form after the medical exam has been conducted on the same day. It's a temporary medical certificate subject to verification. This is a copy of the form and not the original certificate of your Class 2. Now this can be used to get an admission in the flying school until you get your original certificate of Class 2. The required documents need to be submitted to DGCA, and the original Class 2 certificate will be mailed to your home address by DGCA in about 2 months. Once you've cleared your Class 2 medical, you can proceed with the next step, that is the DGCA exams. There are 6 exams in total, 5 of which are conducted by DGCA and 1 which is conducted by the WPC. The DGCA exams include air navigation, aviation meteorology, air regulation, technical general and technical specific. Those are 5 DGCA exams. Now these 5 exams are totally MCQ and they're conducted every 3 months at DGCA test centers, and the passing mark is 70% in all the exams. Now the one remaining exam is the RT exam, which is the Radio Telephony Restricted Aeronautical exam. This exam is conducted every 2 months by the WPC, so you have an option of giving this exam 6 times a year. Again, the passing mark for the RT exam is 70% as well. Few things to note about the exams is that ground classes are recommended for all the exams. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. If you want to give the exam with your own self-study, of course you can do it. There is no limit to how many times you can give the exams. So if you fail once or twice, you can go for the third time. Also, these exams are valid for 5 years. So within 5 years, you need to get your flying done and collect all the documents and submit to DGCA for issuance of your CPL. It is also advised to give your RT exam along with your DGCA exams because you don't have to worry about another exam in the future. And if you wish to give your RT exam after you've done the flying, then it may delay your CPL. A detailed list of the syllabus for CPL will be given in the description so you can have a look at it. Now in order to give the DGCA exams, what you need is a computer number, the computer number is a permanent number allotted to a particular candidate for appearing in the exams. Now there is a 50-page manual on how you can get the computer number, which you absolutely have to read. The manual tells you what size and shape and orientation of the photographs and documents that you need. that has to be submitted to DGCA in order to get your computer number. But just to give you an idea of what all documents you might need for the issuance of computer number, it will be on your screen right now. Fill up your information and send them to DGCA. If they approve it, then you get your computer number. Now, a few things about the computer number that has to be cleared. You do not need any previous flying experience to apply for a computer number, or you don't even need a student pilot's license, and you don't need a class 2 medical. Now, the reasons why your application may be rejected is due to wrong information or spelling mistake or wrong orientation of your photographs or even wrong attestation. Once they release the exam dates, then you can log into DGCA Pariksha website, choose the papers you want to appear for and the test center. After that, you will be given an admit card, and that's all. Now back to medicals once again, it's advised to get your class 1 medical done before you start flying. This is because you do not want to be spending so much money on flying only to later realize that you cannot clear your class 1 medical. Now about the class 1 medical, there are a few things which you will need. You will need the CA35 form which you got from the previous class 2 medical to actually apply for the class 1 medical. The validity of class 1 medical is 1 year, and the test done in class 1 medical will be on your screen right now. For a more detailed information on class 1 medical and how you can get it done, I've given it in the description so you can take a look at it. Now let's say you got your medicals done, you got your computer number, and you've cleared all the 6 exams. Now comes your practical part, that is the 200 hours of flying. In order to complete the 200 hours of flying, you have to join your flying school in India. Now it's up to you to do the research and join the flying school of your choice. Now once you've joined the flying school, you will be issued 2 things, that is the student pilot's license as well as the FRTO license. Now talking about student pilot's license, it is the first license which you will be issued. It's under the SPL that you complete all the 200 hours of flying in your flying school. Now student pilot's license is issued by your flying school. There will be an oral test conducted by the chief flying instructor. Now the syllabus includes the basics of what you've learned to clear the 5 DGCA exams, so it should be easy for you. Okay, so you got your student pilot's license. Now comes your FRTO license. Now FRTO license is mandatory when you join a flying school before flying. This gives you the privilege to use any radio equipments in an Indian registered flying aircraft. Now there are 2 types of FRTO license. There is the FRTO license restricted as well as the FRTO license open. Now you will need the FRTO license restricted when you start flying, that is when you join the flying school. FRTO license restricted is given to you during the initial period, that is when you join a flying school. There is a DGCA exam as well as an oral exam conducted by your flying school. The written exam is conducted 4 times a year, and the oral exam will be conducted by your chief flying instructor. Once you get your FRTO license as well as your student's pilot's license, you are allowed to start flying for the next 200 hours. Now the flying includes 20 hours or so of simulator training. These 20 hours will not be counted in your 200 hours of flying. This is just to give you a feel of what the aircraft will be like. Now you have your 185 hours of single engine flying, that is flying at night time, flying solo, flying with your chief flying instructor. Next comes your 15 hours of multi-engine flying, that is you will be flying 15 hours in a multi-engine aircraft. Now once you've completed 200 hours of flying, you need to get your FRTO license open. Now the FRTO license open is given on the basis of RTR exam. So if you've cleared this exam before, you can get the FRTO license open. This is required for the issuance of your CPL along with the FRTO license restricted. Now you cleared your class 2 medical, you cleared your class 1 medical, you cleared your DGCA exams, the RT exams, you joined the flying school, completed 200 hours of flying, you got both types of FRTO license, the open and restricted. Now you have to collect all these documents including your flight logbook, which is where you log down all the flying hours, and you need to submit all of these documents to DGCA in order for the issuance of your CPL.